What's up, y'all? Welcome to Saved by the Code, where I talk about all things cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Let's just go. So, we got our boy Jamie Dimon chiming into the Bitcoin conversation once again, his valued opinion, and it's, as usual, absolutely pathetic, and it is just absolutely hilarious. The argument, the only thing he has left to say negative about Bitcoin now is that once Bitcoin hits its cap of 21 million coins, the creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, is going to appear out of nowhere and erase Bitcoin. Yes, this is literally his only, just his last argument. He can't say you're a drug dealer now because the ETF is there. You can't say it's used for money laundering. You can't say it uses all this energy. All those things have been debunked, and now all he has left is that the anonymous creator of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, is going to come out of nowhere and destroy it in over 100 years from now, when the last Bitcoin is mined in the year 2140. He literally said this, and it's just laughable that this is his only argument against Bitcoin anymore. I mean, how much more pathetic can you be? Do you really have, he's just so desperate to destroy it in any way that he's literally saying that the creator's going to come and destroy it. First off, if that did, it could happen. I don't know. If this did happen, why does it automatically mean that the Satoshi would want to destroy their own creation, whether it be a group of people? Who knows? It could be a girl, a boy, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But why is the assumption that they would want to destroy their creation that has made it this far and has accomplished so much? Why is it assumed that they would destroy it? This guy has just lost all credibility. He has negative credibility at this point. I just see his face and I'm like, just immediately, whatever he says, it's just like, dude. And it's just incredible to me, the people that are in power of these large institutions, how just incompetent they are. And I mean, I get it, he has incentives to keep his Ponzi scheme going, his scam bank going, and so he's obviously going to talk out against something like Bitcoin that threatens the very foundation of a bank like JP Morgan that practices fractional reserve banking and only keeps 10% of your money in their bank. So yeah, just a little tidbit there. None of your money is backed by anything. It's all just air. And kind of going off on a tangent here, it's so many people's argument against why they don't like Bitcoin is that it's backed by nothing and they can't touch it. I don't know what you think your money in your bank is. You can't touch it. It's digital and it's backed by absolutely nothing. Bitcoin is backed by a massive decentralized network distributed geographically all around the world that hasn't stopped producing blocks since its inception 16 years ago. To me, that's a lot better backing than nothing, or the faith of the US government. I don't know about you, but I can't remember one time in my entire life where I've had faith in the US government. Not one time. It has contributed to so much misery and just terrible things happening to people time and time again. And I don't understand this whole faith in any government for that matter. But anyways, our boy Jamie Dimon just providing his valued opinion on why Bitcoin is just such trash. Because the creator is going to pop up out of nowhere and destroy it in over 100 years. So in the meantime, I'm gonna stick with Bitcoin and bet on it going up and making money on it. Because I'm not gonna be around in 120 years. Neither will he. So, thanks, Jamie. Really appreciate your input. Good old CEO of JP Morgan. Obviously, gonna be a huge advocate of Bitcoin. Go home, Jamie. You're drunk. All right. Moving on to the Coinbase and SEC debacle that happened in court this past week. So the SEC is at it again. What do you know? Trying to take down another crypto giant, Coinbase. Are just trying to take. They've been trying to take down crypto for a long time and haven't been able to do it. And this court case is great because this judge is just like, well, they're saying all cryptos are securities, the SEC. So this judge is just like, well, doesn't that make Beanie Babies securities or anything that has the expectation of increasing in value a security? Baseball cards, Beanie Babies, maybe a car, anything can be deemed a security if you're defining it in that manner. And so, yeah, it was just great that this judge was just very fair and in their discourse, and it's nice to see that we can still get a fair trial. And nothing's been decided yet, but the fact that the judge didn't really take either side, just presented a rational argument, saying that why can't you deem Beanie Babies as securities? And it is true. It's just a ridiculous argument, and as usual, no one knows what's going on. No one knows what a security is, what it isn't. It's just so funny how clueless everyone always is about everything. And these experts try to, spin these tales and convince people that they know what they're talking about, when in reality they're just as clueless as the next person. I'm just a clueless human. The funny thing is that I'm an advocate of Bitcoin, but I'm skeptical towards everything. But it's the thing that I'm least skeptical towards. In my experience, banks, US dollar, stocks, they're all just centralized BS. And everybody talks all these bad things about Bitcoin, but you're buying gold, you're buying stocks, you have your money in a bank earning 0.1% interest, and Bitcoin's volatile, stocks can be volatile. The US dollar, if you look at a chart, has just only gone down. And I get it, you have to use the US dollar to be able to function in life. However, just not being open to Bitcoin and just immediately writing it off while you're buying or invested in gold that does not have a cap supply, by the way, and is very antiquated. And most of the time, these people don't even actually own physical gold, which is fine. I understand the market for that. A lot of people aren't going to actually want to buy Bitcoin and store it. A lot of people aren't going to want to actually buy physical gold and store it. And that's okay. It kind of completely defeats the purpose. But, there's going to be a market for that. But for people just to immediately write off Bitcoin without knowing anything about it, just blows my mind. Well, not really. Nothing really blows my mind anymore. But anyway, sorry, tangent there. Yeah, so this judge, pretty cool. What's her name? What's this judge's name? Something. It's a girl. She's cool. Just seemed objective in her discourse in this. Oh yeah, Catherine Polk. Fela. Yeah. So SEC, once again, go home. You're drunk. With Jamie Dimon, they're just all just at the party, too drunk and making absolutely no sense whatsoever. Once again, time and time again, what do you know? Those in power are just babbling nonsense, and unfortunately, the majority of people will just fall in line and go along with whatever these big institutions have set up for them, because for whatever reason people still think that the government and banks and all these centralized behemoths have their best interest in mind. I still don't understand why. Oh goodness. All right, this next story, I just wanted to put this story here because it just further highlights the fact that the majority of experts in any field are very incompetent. This guy, he's on our team though. You know, he's a crypto guy. Obviously, he wrote a book called "The Money Confusion: How Illiteracy About Currencies and Inflation Sets the Stage for the Crypto Revolution." So he's on our team, but he misses just such obvious, simple ideas in this article that he put out yesterday. And it's titled, "Bitcoin Will Never Be Money Precisely Because It's Nothing Like Gold," on Forbes, a reputable source for information. And he argues that Bitcoin is extremely volatile and it does not make good money. And, you know, I'd agree with him. Right now, at this point in time, on January 19th, 2024, yes, Bitcoin is quite a volatile asset. And, you know, if you want to, he argues in his article, you know, I'll put in a bathroom for you. You give me one Bitcoin now, one in 6 months, and one when it's finished in a year or whatever. Just hypothetical situation. And yes, the value of Bitcoin is going to go up and down drastically during that time. And do you want to know why? Well, it's because the market cap of Bitcoin is quite small relative to other assets like gold that have over a 10 times more bigger market cap than Bitcoin. I think gold's around $10 trillion, maybe more or less around there. Bitcoin is around 800 billion. And so, yeah, the price is going to move a lot more in these early days. You don't just go from 0 to 10 trillion without extreme volatility. And he didn't mention that one time in his article. Not one time. That Bitcoin is only been around for 15 years and its market cap is very low, hence why it has such high volatility, and that it'll become much more stable when the market cap is a lot higher. It's such an easy, simple concept that wasn't mentioned one time. And it just blows my mind how these experts don't mention any of these simple concepts in their papers like this, that it will never be money because it's nothing like gold. I would not say never be money. It is just not good at being a medium of exchange at the current time. It's a great thing to I don't even like diversifying your investment portfolio and making way more money than if you buy gold. Well, if you want to make 5% in 5 years, you go ahead and you buy gold. If you want to make 500 to 1,000% in 5 years, buy some Bitcoin. Not financial advice, by the way. And so, I mean, yeah, gold's a lot more stable because it has a lot higher market cap. This guy also says that the only reason gold's price moves is because of the currency that its value is based off of, which is the US dollar, and the price only changes because of the inflation and inflows and outflows of the US dollar are changing, not because of money flowing in and out of gold or people buying and selling gold, trading it. He literally says that. Where does it say that? Oh man, it's so funny. But just such basic concepts that were totally overlooked. And Evidence. Bitcoin's price at the time of this write-up, the value of it is in no way. I mean, like I said, just the basic idea that the higher something's market cap is, the less volatile it will be was not mentioned one time. Just absurd how this guy's apparently an expert president of the Parkview Institute. He's obviously smart, but it's just like, how do you overlook such simple ideas and not mention them at all? But like I said, he's obviously on our side, so all right, man. There he says, wait, when gold moves in price, that's the value of the dollar, euro, pound, won, or Swiss franc in which it's being measured moving, not the metal itself. So that's the only reason why gold's price moves. Dude, I'm not an expert, but man, that's sad. And like I said, this is the majority of experts in any field. This guy's smart. He's obviously achieved a lot of things, more than I have. But man, Forbes article writer. All right. He's in the, whatever. This article, the next one, Bitcoin ETFs are stepping away from the ideals of crypto, blockchain executives. I understand what they're saying. However, it's impossible for something like Bitcoin to get as big as it has gotten, and for it, for the traditional financial world not to do something like an ETF. It's just, that's a fantasy world. All of these things that are how, Wall Street getting into Bitcoin and all these things, there's no reality where that doesn't happen. I know these hardcore Bitcoiners really want to live in this world so bad where it's just Bitcoin, decentralized money, skirting all regulations and getting past the government and all this stuff and Wall Street, and it's just not going to happen. It's going to get regulated. Wall Street's going to get involved. If there's money to be made, they're going to get involved. And I mean, it's just inevitable. It's inevitable. And so, sorry, boys, it's just fantasy. Bitcoin's still the massive decentralized network that no one can stop. So I'm just happy with that. And it can't be confiscated if stored properly. I mean, that's just, those things will never change. Those are the important things that will never change. We're stepping away from the ideals of crypto with the Bitcoin ETFs. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Sure, the ideals, like I said, that are important, the decentralization, the unconfiscatability, the inability to censor transactions, those are the important ideals that will never change. They can release as many traditional financial instruments as they want, and it's going to continue happening, and it'll be more regulated, and it's good for us. The price is going to go up. Be happy. People always say, like, price isn't important. Price is the most important thing. Not the most, but it's extremely important. The price. If the price wasn't going up, there would be a lot less decentralization, a lot less miners, a lot less people. No one would be buying it. It would be nothing if Bitcoin's price was $10 right now. There would be no incentive to mine Bitcoin, to further decentralize it, to advance Bitcoin. People need incentive. People need money. All right. This story, I mean, these Bitcoin ETFs there's a lot of Bitcoin buying going on, and you may be wondering, why isn't the price going up if there's all this buying going on? The title of this article, Spot Bitcoin ETFs scoop up another 10,600 Bitcoin on day 5. Yeah. Spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund issuers added another net 10,667 Bitcoin to their crypto stacks This is like BlackRock, all the ETFs that were approved. There's a total of 68,500 Bitcoin since their launch, currently worth around $2.8 billion. And the price is not going anywhere. Why? Why is this? These massive Bitcoin buys don't happen on Coinbase. These big players aren't going on to Coinbase, logging on, and putting in a buy order for 10,000 Bitcoin. It just doesn't make sense. And I understand why they would do what's called an over-the-counter trade, where you just purchase 10,000 Bitcoin in bulk at one set price. On Coinbase, if you did that, you would have what's called slippage, and you'd be buying Bitcoin at different prices. So if you put in an order for 10,000 Bitcoin on Coinbase's order books, you would buy 1,000 Bitcoin at $42,000. Another 1,000 would be at $42,500. Another 1,000 at $43,000. So that's what's called slippage. Instead of buying it in bulk at one price, which doesn't move the price. Now you say, okay, then is Bitcoin's price ever going to go up? This liquidity will eventually dry up. There's not infinite Bitcoin on these over-the-counter markets, and it does have an effect on the price later down the road. It's not instantaneous. And like I said, it makes sense. I mean, if you're buying 10,000 Bitcoin, you don't want to go on Coinbase and buy it all the way up to, like I said, it could slip up to like 48,000 or something or whatever. You see the prices at 42 and you're buying it at 45 because of slippage. You're not going to want to do that. And it does make sense when you're buying that much Bitcoin to buy it at one set price over the counter and not cause the price to move. But like I said, there's not infinite liquidity on these over-the-counter markets, and it will eventually dry up. Bitcoin has a limited supply, and if demand keeps increasing, price go up, baby. So you're delusional as well if you think that Bitcoin is immune to market manipulation. Every market is manipulated in some way, shape, or form by big players, and so that's happening. Over-the-counter trades, just chill, people. Bitcoin is still Bitcoin. This ETF is a massive, massive advancement for the adoption of Bitcoin. And, Grandma Tabitha can own Bitcoin. It's great. That it opens the market to everybody. There's no excuse now for people that were scared of it being super complicated before not to buy the ETF or get exposure to Bitcoin now. I mean, I always advise and try to tell people to stay as far away from centralized entities as possible because, I mean, buying the Bitcoin ETF kind of completely defeats the purpose of Bitcoin, but there's a market for it. There's a very big market for it, and most people aren't going to do all that. Even though it's really so easy to buy and store Bitcoin. You sign up for an exchange. Okay. You connect your bank account. You click buy Bitcoin. And then you get a ledger storage device and you send that Bitcoin to that ledger and you're done. If you can write and you can copy and paste and click a mouse, you can buy Bitcoin. It's that simple. It's just the ways that people convince themselves of things that they know nothing about. It's too gone. You don't have to know how a car works to drive a car. You don't have to know how Bitcoin works to buy Bitcoin. I think what a lot of people are scared of are the losing their password thing, and just don't lose your password. Treat it like a bar of gold. Would you lose a bar of gold? Like if you bought a big bar of gold, would you just be like, oh, I lost it? Like, don't lose it. The beauty about Bitcoin is that you can write your seed phrase many different times and distribute it in different locations. You can't do that with a bar of gold. You have one bar of gold and that's it. If it gets taken, it's gone. All right. Let's hurry it up here. Where are we at? Oh, not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right. Next story here. Our boy Donnie Trump. Donald promises to block the digital dollar creation, calls CBDC dangerous threat to freedom. I still don't understand why people think the CBDC, yeah, it is a threat, but it already exists. Central bank digital currency. What do you think your money in your bank account is? It's a central bank. It's digital, and it's a currency. It's already here. I don't understand what the difference is. What is the difference between the money we have now in our banks and this elusive CBDC that's just gonna be so much different? Banks can lock you out of your accounts. Banks can do whatever they want with the money that's in their accounts. Your money that is in their bank, which, by the way, doesn't exist. If we all went to the bank and wanted to pull cash out, they wouldn't have it. You'd be SOL. So this would be a dangerous threat to freedom, and I'll stop it from coming to America. It's already here, Donnie. Sorry to say. The only defense against it is Bitcoin. The only thing that you can truly own. And not worry about any centralized authority locking you out or devaluing it into absolutely nothing. Printing it into oblivion, which can't happen with Bitcoin. I just don't get the difference between the CBDC and money that's in your bank. I don't. Can someone explain it to me, please? But I appreciate it, you know? Thanks, Donnie. Pretty cool that you got politicians standing up against this, but it already exists. Why can't you just be like, yo, Bitcoin's cool, not we're gonna stop CBDCs that are already here? Oh my. Am I the smartest person in the world, or am I just really dumb? Because so many of these things just don't make sense to me. Oh, what a mad world. You just gotta let it go, or else it will drive you mad if you don't, because letting go of things you cannot control is just, it makes life a lot easier. You know, there's no point in getting angry at anything. I mean, it's not possible. I mean, it is, but it's just it's just the dumbest things happen in life, and it's just like, what? Like those just little stupid things that are just so stupid. It's just like, how, why, just incredibly frustrating, and it's very difficult not to have your blood boil. But it does nothing. Like, really, getting angry at anything does absolutely nothing, especially at things you can't control. Like, maybe things you can control, it makes a little more sense, but things you can't control makes zero sense. Like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, what's that Simpson episode? Old man yells at cloud or something. There's a funny meme where it's like, old man yells at Bitcoin. And it was like about Warren Buffett or something. Hilarious. Good to be back doing a podcast. It's been a while. All right, sorry about that. This next story on how Bitcoin assets under management for the ETF has surpassed everything but gold in the first week. Bitcoin instantly tops silver ETF market and trails only gold among commodities. The exciting silver ETF, the more exciting gold ETF. We stand to make 10%. That's a big 10 in 5 years. That's what my advisor told me. Hey, gold's cool. You know, I don't hate gold. I think it's cool. It looks pretty. It's a useful, very useful metal in many different applications. It looks really nice on rings and stuff. But as far as making money, have at it. I don't think the price of gold has moved. Let's see here. Price of gold. Oh, $2,000. I think it's been there for the past 4 years now. All right, let's see here. 5 years. Okay, I'm wrong. All right, not bad. Gold on in January 5 years ago was $1,300. Now it's $2,000. Wow, that's pretty good. Let's see the price of Bitcoin in the same time period. Here we go. Bitcoin charts. Let's go here. All right, baby. Come on, Bitcoin. You got to do better than that. Well, I know for a fact it's better than that. And I believe the price 5 years ago around this time was like, I'm going to say $7,000, $6,000. Let's see here. All right, January 2019. $4,000. So you got 1,000% increase, or you get about a 70%. I want to say your choice. People argue gold's been around this long and you can touch it. That's a huge thing for people. You can touch gold. You can touch it. There are so many things in the year 2024 that have a lot of value that you cannot touch. I don't know if you know this, but data is extremely valuable. This is the business model for all those free services that you use, like Facebook, Instagram, Google. They harvest all of your data and they sell it to advertisers, which is why they make so much freaking money. Something you can't touch that has a lot of value. So this whole you can't touch it thing is just so silly. You can't touch a gold ETF. Oh, but the underlying asset you can touch. Oh, this is so funny. Wait, what is it? 67 million % since Bitcoin's inception. That's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, if you don't want to make any money, buy gold. I mean, if you bought gold in January of 2022, you made about, what is that, 10%? 2 years. Whoa! If you bought gold in January of 2020, you made about 25%. Wow. That is mind-blowing profits there, people. 25%. Yippee. So, if you just hold Bitcoin over the long term, you're going to make money. It just literally has been the case for 16 years, 15 years. Just hold it. Don't sell it when it goes down and you get all freaked out. And it's okay. It's guaranteed to go below the price that you buy it at. Guaranteed. 100%. I'll bet everything that's guaranteed to happen. And that's the problem. People get all freaked out and they sell and they, oh no, Bitcoin. Oh. Jamie Dimon said the creator is going to come out of nowhere and destroy it. CNN said this about Bitcoin. Oh man. It is so funny. Just buy and hold your Bitcoin, people. Not financial advice, but just hold it. It's a risk not to have any. if you didn't put too much money in, if you just have a lot of, it's very clear to me that it's not going anywhere, and it's here to stay. All right, next story here. Yeah, same idea. Bitcoin's price is silver to become the second largest ETF commodity in the U.S., right behind gold, and I'm sure that will pass gold here soon. Cool. Go Bitcoin. Oh, and speaking of gold, the environmental cost of gold mining. Gold is one of the most environmentally unfriendly processes known to man. And it is just hilarious, these people that try to say Bitcoin mining is just so horrible and bad and it's going to destroy the earth and we're all going to burn. And meanwhile, once again, these experts in the field, it's just so rare to see an objective argument about anything, really. These people that hate on Bitcoin and all they talk about in their article are how much energy Bitcoin burns, but then fail to mention gold, laundry machines, game systems that consume the same energy that Bitcoin creates, electricity, and does the exact same thing. You have to ask yourself, is it justified? And are video games justified? Yeah. We need entertainment as humans. If we don't have that stuff, we're already going crazy, but you'll go a little less crazy when you got some entertainment in your life. But I mean, what Bitcoin provides to humanity, a way to store and transfer value without the need for a central authority, the inability to be confiscated and inflated into oblivion, extremely valuable. Extremely. And so these people, but when asked their choice, many investors say that, yeah, this whole idea that Bitcoin uses too much energy, it just goes to show you how little people know or do any research on things that they don't know anything about, i.e. Bitcoin, and just say things that make no sense. Just don't say anything, or just say you don't know. It's okay. And in the U.S., 90% of the cyanide is used solely to recover hard to extract gold. The toxic material in its production and transport is in direct relationship with the gold market. It is estimated that gold mines use more than 100,000 tons of cyanide each year. That means massive production and transport of a compound with a human fatal dose of a few milligrams. Yes, I mean, transporting these things, these trucks need to consume gas, and these trucks need to be produced, and the tires, and, I forget how many gallons of oil it is to, make, one of those really massive big dump truck tires. It's, some absurd amount. But, these are things that most people don't consider when, it's more than just consuming gas to dig through dirt and pull gold out. You need to produce those bulldozers and those tires and the cyanide. I didn't even know that. Transporting that and producing that and this and this and that. And it's just, you have no argument with the whole Bitcoin environment thing. And so gold is very, very environmentally detrimental. And many people still don't understand that and think Bitcoin is just a scourge of the earth and we're all going to burn alive, and so we can't buy any. What was that article last year from Greenpeace? They're all tree huggers and they hate Bitcoin because of just how, these mines are just, Bitcoin mines are consuming all this energy, and they make all this noise, and they look so bad, and not mentioning gold one time, not mentioning laundry machines, game systems, Christmas lights, their computer that they're typing their essay on, and the millions of other ones around the world. It's just so absurd. Oh gosh. All right. Moving on to this last article I have for y'all. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says Bitcoin is an asset class that protects you. I'm very confused by this complete change of stance. This guy used to not like Bitcoin, then he came out and admitted that he likes Bitcoin, and now he thinks it's like the best thing ever. So it's cool. I mean, it's great. Thanks, Larry. But I'm just confused because he's the CEO of the largest asset manager on earth that controls like everything. And I have a hard time believing that they don't have ill intentions, but let's listen to this little clip we got here. Larry Fink talking about Bitcoin, if I can get it to work. Come on. All right, I have to refresh this. Yeah, Larry Fink is the CEO of BlackRock, and they have a Bitcoin ETF. They have like $9 or $11 trillion in assets under management or something. Largest asset manager on earth. They own like everything. But
I believe,
here's what you got to say.
I believe it goes up if the world is more frightened, if people have fearful of geopolitical risk, they're fearful of their own risk. It's no different than what gold represented over thousands of years. It is a asset class that protects you. Right. And unlike gold, where we manufacture new gold, we're almost at the ceiling of the amount of Bitcoin that we created.
When you hear somebody like Kathy Wood,
yes,
who was on our broadcast yesterday, say that her base case is that this turns into a $600,000 a Bitcoin valuation base case, and a million plus in a super optimistic case. Are you anywhere in her realm?
I haven't thought about it. To me, that what we are trying to do is offer an instrument that can store wealth. I think if it gets that even close to that high, gold will represent even a bigger value. And let's be clear, if you think it's digital gold, there's going to be a reference point between gold and Bitcoin.
Thanks, Larry Bear. Appreciate it. He's just completely flipped. And this whole BlackRock thing and ETFs, like, it is wild. This for this decentralized Bitcoin cryptocurrency thing that came out 15 years ago by some group that we don't even know who it is, that apparently is going to come out of nowhere, according to Jamie Dimon, and take down Bitcoin in the year 2140. That is too funny. How this respected CEO of JP Morgan, who just knows everything, that's his only argument he has. But anyways, Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, coming out saying how Bitcoin is the SHIT. Thank you, Larry Bear. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call him that anymore. Pretty cool stuff, though. Alright, I think that does it for this first video back in a long time. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all learned something or laughed about something, laughed at me, laughed at anything my goofy butt had to say. And until next time, I bid you farewell on your cryptocurrency journey.